Once upon a time there was a letter A. This letter A lived in the happy alphabet town. Everything was always happy and gleeful. Until one day, bad news drifted to Alphabet Town that someone was erasing the storybook character memories of the understanding of their stories. The sage letter O called a meeting with the Alphabet Town. He said he foresaw a hero alphabet letter that would rise to the occasion and save the storybook characters from doom. And that alphabet letter was A.
"I can save those storybook characters,"
proclaimed A. But no one listened. Everyone was too concerned about how they would be used in future stories to care about the predicament at hand. Smart letter A, however, was prepared to go off and save the storybook world characters from forgetting what writing style was used in their books.
"Hey! Hey, you!
What?
Hey, narrator!
What? Can he hear me?
Hey, you! I may not be able to hear you, but I know you're up there. You better tell my story right. You hear me?"
Why is he addressing me, the narrator? Wait a minute, you clever boy. You just retaught me the apostrophe. The addressing or invocation to something that is inanimate, absent, or non-existent. Of course I exist, but anyway, let us please return to the story. A began his journey. He soon met the Jungle Book's fake.
"Salutations, sir." Sequential repeating of consonant sounds. In this case of S. "Sinister, sinister, so sir says. I solidly say, he'll see." No offense, sir. I'm just noting that the writing style you are using in your book. In this case, it is alliteration. Alliteration? Well, yes, I see. Slippery silver sickle you are, you'll see. Okay, weirdo.
And so A continued his journey until he met Dracula.
"Aha! To you I trail, follow, stalk, hunt, pray.
Oh my gosh! Calm the heck down. I just want to help you return to your fairy tale. That manner of speech. You're not using conjunctions, are you?
Conjunctions like but and or? Of course not.
Yes, a common case of transcendental, and that's what you're using. It's when conjunctions are omitted from speech, producing a more fast-paced type of literature. It's good for adding suspense.
A syndeton. I feel complete. Yes, I can return to my story now.
Ooh, got that one down. Let's keep going.
And so A continued until he found Pandora weeping outside of her open box.
"Hi, Pandora. What's the matter?" "I'm a failure. I let out envy. I let out crime. I let out hate. I let out malice. Oh, woe is me. Oh, wow." "Did you let anything else out?" "I let out hope." Yes, you are using an anaphora. It is the regular repetition of the same word or phrase at the beginning of successive phrases or clauses. Yes, simply solved. "What? Anaphora? I've been saved. Help. Thank you for letting me be helpful."
And like that, Pandora returned to her story. A continued his journey. Along the way, he found Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln? What's he doing here? He's not a storybook character. Someone's got to tell the scriptwriter that... What? Oh, he's been immortalized into one. Gotcha. Anyways, back to the story.
So what's your problem, Abe Lincoln?
I don't know. Ever since I can remember, I've been stuck here with the sign above my head. It says...
The candy bar Jack was about to steal awoke the honest Abe in him.
And I have no idea as to what that means.
Oh, that's simple. It's an allusion, a reference to a literary or historical person, place, or event. The real person, Abraham Lincoln, was renowned for being very honest as a lawyer. He later became president, making him a highly celebrated figure for freeing the slaves under the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment.
Wow, you're very smart.
And with that, Abe Lincoln returned to his story. Seems the storybook Lincoln isn't as good-hearted as the real one. Anyway, Abe continued his journey when he came upon Casper, the friendly ghost.
Oh, I'm so sad.
What's wrong, Casper? You're a friendly ghost, not a sullen ghost. That's funny.
That's not funny. I honestly can't come to understand why I'm so friendly that I upset people all the time. Or why that when I help people out, they end up liking me in the end.
Well, that's because the author's attitude towards friendliness is very overpowering in your story. He values it above everything else, and it shows. See, attitude is the sense expressed by the tone of voice or mood of a literary piece, the feelings the author holds towards a subject, the people in his narrative, the events, the setting, or even a theme.
So you're saying that because my author valued friendliness, he made my friendliness always win me friends?
Exactly!
And with a smile and a wave, Casper returned to his story. I continued his journey again. He began to contemplate the evilness of the character responsible for the impairment of the storybook characters. He wondered who would do such horrible things to such good-natured beings, confusing them into oblivion. Suddenly he came upon Princess Aurora, commonly known as Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, fair knight, can you help me?
Yes, that's my quest, to serve you, fine lady.
Yes, please. I can't remember what these lines above me signify. If you don't help, I can't return to my prince's side.
The sign read, Aurora quickly skipped in the garden. She heartily held the helm of her hero.
Oh, this one is tricky. It's not entirely alliteration. But it's very familiar. It's a sonance.
A sonance? How so?
A repetition of identical or similar vowel sounds, usually those found in stressed syllables of very close proximity or area. This is very close to alliteration, which is a repetition of beginning consonants. Don't get them confused.
Right, assonance, vowel, alliteration, consonant. I got it. I strangely feel better.
And like that, Aurora returned to his story. I really began to worry, though. Something was terribly, horribly wrong. Who would be stealing princesses and other good-natured creatures? As A began to consider this, he came upon Yertle the turtle.
You, what's this? I don't know what to make of it.
And today, the great Yertle, that marvelous he, is king of the mud. That is all he can see, is what the turtle was referencing.
Oh my! Well, if you calm down and read the text slowly again, that you can see that there was emphasis on certain parts of the text.
Huh? Those are intended?
Well, yes, of course they're intended. The style is called an anapaestic. It is a poetic meter, or you could call it a rhythmic structure, that consists of two unstressed syllables followed by one stressed syllable. Read it again slowly and pay attention to the stresses.
And today, that great Yertle, that marvelous he, is king of the mud. That is all he can see.
I see. Well then, thank you. I feel better already.
And just like that, Yertle the turtle too returned to his story. Now A was stumped. This evil villain was even reaching out to poetry. This villain, A thought, must really be sinister. And suddenly, A came upon Yoda.
Yoda? What? But he's not even a fairy tale character. He's just a...
What? Something dost thou have to say?
Never mind.
Not I thought.
Now, what's your problem?
Unfortunately, not I know as to who I am. Who am I?
Yoda?
No, young Beanshot, in terms of the story.
Gosh, a guy can't take a joke? Well, considering you are the wise old man that advises Luke Skywalker, I would say you're an archetype. An archetype is a recurrent design, pattern pattern of action, character type, theme, or image which is identifiable with a wide range of literature. For example, the archetype for wise old man is an identifiable character type that advises the main character, and it can be found in many different types of books, such as Bram from Aragon, Dumbledore from Harry Potter, Gandalf from The Hobbit, and Merlin from The Idyllics of the King.
So is that?
Well, yes.
So story it down, Nobby. You, I thank for the aid.
And with that, Yoda returned to his story, albeit it wasn't really a fairy tale, but those details no longer bothered A. Rather, a more serious idea had crept into A's mind. If even non-fairy tale characters were being attacked, what could be occurring to the fairy tale world? Who could be responsible for the attack? And what was their aim? And as A was contemplating all of this, his antithesis, Z, appeared. An antithesis is a juxtaposition, a complete contrast of ideas and balances or parallel words, phrases, grammatical structures, or even ideas. In this case, Z was A's antithesis because he hated being good, he did not like to help people, and he frowned down upon happy endings.
Z, you made those fairy tale characters forget their English styles, didn't you?
Wow! I show up in front of you and that's what you come up with? As I expected, you are very clever. Yes, I'm the antagonist to your story. I am the force that is in opposition to you, the main character, the protagonist.
Why? Why would you harm so many storybook characters? What's your motive?
Hey, do you know anything about the letter Z? It is the last letter in the alphabet, and it is also one of the least used letters in the alphabet. It is put behind other letters so often. One time I ran in a marathon in Alphabet Town and won first place. However, no one would recognize me as first because I came last in the alphabet. From then on, I have always harbored a deep scar within my chest. And you, the letter A, the first in the alphabet, though best, one of the most often referenced and used. A is a universal letter that defines the English language. How can you deny that? You, that is all. It's not fair. I desire respect too.
All right. Enough with your anecdote, which is a brief story or tale told by a character in a piece of literature. That's enough. So, what do you want me to do now? Haven't you considered how many troubles you are causing to so many storybook characters? You've decimated the whole fairy tale world. There are probably right now young children on the planet Earth crying themselves to sleep over the loss of their storybook characters. Get over yourself!
And with that slap, Z ran away, leaving A triumphant over the evil forces besetting the world of fairy tale stories. A returned to Alphabet Town, where he was deemed the savior, and the letter Z was forever exiled into a life of continuous obscurity, which really was far worse than where he was prior. And thus we have a very, very weird, yet happy ending.
Yeah, take it from me, the letter A. Thank you for enjoying my allegory story, a literary work that demonstrates multiple levels of meaning and significance.
All right, A, that's quite enough. Thank you, and the end.